what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Fitzgerald's Hyundai in sunny Clearwater, Florida, and we're gonna try to get some answers for you if you're looking at a brand new Sonata. So what I have is a 2019 Hyundai Sonata. This one is a limited trim with the 2-liter turbocharged engine. Now, as many of you are aware from watching Rady's Rides, there is an all-new, totally redesigned Sonata coming out for 2020. Those have not hit the dealership lots yet. So if you're thinking about a Sonata and you want a 4-door sedan, is the time now to get your hands on an amazing deal on a 2019 Sonata before the 2020s come out. So that's really gonna be the basis of discussion, but we're gonna go from stem to stern, top to bottom of this 2019 Hyundai Sonata, like I said, limited with the 2-liter turbo. Let's talk a little bit about Hyundai history. Been around since 1986. First car was the Hyundai Excel, and that was it. You had your choice, sedan or hatchback. The Sonata hit the streets here in the United States in 1990. Since then, it really has grown into its own, and I know as of late, maybe some people thought Hyundai went the wrong direction with styling, but when it comes to features and performance in a great affordable package with that wonderful warranty, I think there's really nothing better out there than this particular Sonata Limited. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's the styling on that outgoing 2019. So you can see the headlight design. I do think they hit the nail with the headlight design. Like the way it goes from the corner here all the way to the back. And one thing that I've always liked about the Sonatas is how they work the trim from the side fender into the actual headlight housing. New for 2020 will be that headlight housing that lights up. These lights are full LEDs, so you're gonna get a nice bright light. I like the way they're blacked out, and I don't know if Tom could show you, there's like a faux carbon fiber pattern going on inside of the housing, which just makes it look a little bit extra upscale and cool overall. As we drop down, we do have these functional vents. So air curtains are functional. This is gonna help direct the air. Gloss black, you know what? It's not too bad. I'm not the largest fan of gloss black. I personally probably would have made this a little bit smaller and shown a little bit more of this beautiful blue paint, but at least it is functional and it's gonna help channel air down the side. I like the chrome trim across the bottom that goes all the way from one side to the other. There is that traditional Hyundai grille. So many companies work on a grille design that gives their brand an image. This is Hyundai's take on the open grille design. Like the finish, it's like a off chrome, like a darker chrome finish. That large Hyundai logo, very smart. They made the logo so large to hide all of the technology, the laser, the radar technology for adaptive cruise control and all that, because this thing has a lot of options, especially at the price point. I like the lower lip spoiler here that's integrated into the front of the car, especially since this is the Sport. And then as we go across, I just really like the balance layout of the front of the car. Now up on the hood, some very interesting body lines going on. We have them starting on the front fascia, go up onto the hood at an angle on both sides. I really think it gives it a nice ripple effect and some personality. I feel like for a lot of people, they just felt like the front end was a little too soft, and wait until 2020, they've changed that up big time. Now, when it comes to wheel and tire package, you're looking at, this is an 18-inch wheel, and if you're wondering about size, it's a 235 with a 45 series tire. Very tasteful design. I like the silver with this blue especially, but it's a tasteful design of a wheel, and it's gonna get the business done. You know, would it be nice on a Sport to have some extra braking capability and whatnot? Yeah, but you know what? In this layout, it's gonna get the job done, and it's a wonderful looking wheel with the blue. Very nice, like I said, that chrome trim comes into the lower portion of the door here. I like the way they brought the blue, some of that gloss black onto the side mirror, and a very slim turn signal built onto that. You have a panoramic sunroof, which is great to see, especially when it's all blacked out on the roof with this beautiful blue. There's that off chrome that I was telling you. It's almost like a black chrome finish on the door handles all the way across the lower sill area. That is showing you that they thought about cohesiveness. They thought about balance. They sprinkled it in the perfect places. As we work our way all the way back to the rear quarter window, comes into a nice sharp point. I like the way that they extended the material past the actual ending of the window. And then to wrap it out back, there is a zonk that I have. This should have a trunk lid spoiler. Does it need to be a Subaru STI wing? No. But I would like to see a nice kick up, especially because this is the sport model, just to give it a little flavor, a little functionality. I am in love with the taillights. I like the design of the taillights. There's some more of that chrome trim. And then you have the Sonata badge, 2-liter turbo, and very smart that they went with dual exhaust. Hit the nail on the head with the diffuser. Looks very clean, looks very sharp. Let's go ahead and pop the hood of this Sonata and see what that 2-liter looks like. All right, guys, the hood is popped on this 2019 Sonata. There she is. That's that 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. You're looking at 245 horsepower, 260 pounds-feet of torque. And if you're wondering what is the weight of this vehicle, 3,605 pounds. The great news is no CVTs. No CVTs on this Hyundai lot. It's an 8-speed automatic. It is front-wheel drive. 0 to 60 in about 7.9 seconds. What's great about it is when you pop the hood, there's hood struts. That's a nice thing to see so that you don't have to use that prop rod. I also like the way the turbo is clearly visible near the firewall. And this engine cover is actually pretty tasteful, to be honest with you. If you're the type of person that at least likes to do the maintenance yourself, very easy. I love on Hyundais how you just lift up the cover here. You're gonna slide out your air filter and slide in a new one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But overall, this engine, it's quite surprising. It's got a lot of get up and go, especially lower in the RPM range. But if you're ready, let's go ahead and fire this one up. All right, guys, we're inside this 2019 Sonata Sport. You know, it's one of those things that there's some things that I love and some things that I'm gonna zonk. But before we get to that, I know you're wondering, Joe, what's the MSRP on this? The MSRP on this particular one is $31,000. But like I said, that's MSRP. Definitely call Igor because they are blowing these cars out to make room for the 2020. So that's where you're gonna get the advantage. To the door panels. There is a lot of black on the door panel. We've talked about this so many times. They do have this silver carbon fiber, faux carbon fiber trim, which kind of breaks it up a little bit. You know, Tom made an interesting comment. He said it looked like brand new aluminum foil, and I kind of have to listen to him and definitely agree with him on that one. But the material at the top of the door is soft. Armrest could use some help. They need to put some padding in the armrest instead of this hard rubber, especially at this price point. Nice soft material on the top portion of the dash. There's more of that faux carbon fiber. Harder here. Glove box, pretty good size. Obviously, you got plenty of books and whatnot you can read all night long. Infotainment, 8-inch screen. I know some of you are gonna like this one because it's not an iPad setup, but it's very easy to use. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This one has full navigation and everything. Obviously, we don't have the SD card in it, but very easy to get through the information on that infotainment. I like the silver and I do like the gloss black. As we drop down, we have this nice gray, very slim radio controls, and then also very tasteful design on the AC controls. I like this silver finish, and if you could see, look, we have ventilated and heated seats. What's funny is you can see where they save money on the buttons because it's the same button here as it is over here. Technically, the ventilation should be on that side if you want to be technical and perfect. But as we come down, you got your dual climate, two 12 volts. You can see I'm charging my phone right now because I've been kind of using it a lot today. Got the USB, got an aux, and wireless charging. All of those features at an MSRP of $31,000. Here's what's going to be controlling that 8-speed automatic transmission. Very slick shifting transmission. I like the leather boot with the blue stitching, and I like the gloss black. Like I always say, if you don't want fingerprints, don't touch it. This has different drive modes, which we're going to talk about in a second. You got a nice cubby here, electric e-brake, 2 cup holders, and then the armrest. I just wish it had some padding in it, for God's sakes. Can I get an option for some extra cotton or something in there to kind of soften it up? I do like the blue stitching though. That is a thumbs up. flip it up, you got a nice little tray here for any salted pretzels or peanuts on your trip. And then you have a felt-lined storage area in there. No extra connectivity. Everything, if you're wanting to connect something, it has to be up front. And then these seats. I do like the seats in this car. They are supportive. I like the way the turbo is embossed here on the back portion, perforated in the center, blue piping. My only thing, and I've said this, I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm not gonna stop saying it until somebody changes it. Take some of this blue, put it on the door panel, for God's sakes. It's not gonna really break the bank, and I think it's just gonna make the car even better. But why don't you come on over to the business end and I'll show you what's happening behind the wheel. All right guys, business end, behind the wheel of this 2019 Sonata. I do like the aluminum sill panel with the Sonata logo there. You also get, and I know you can't see it, but there's aluminum pedals for the gas and the brake pedal, which is really nice, and a decent size dead pedal. There's still car companies that don't put dead pedals in cars. It's there for comfort when you're cruising on the highway, but it's there to help support you as well. Steering wheel, love the steering wheel, great thickness. I love the 10 and 2 notches, the silver trim, very nice switch work here, feels just fine. Blue cross stitching, very nicely done. You have your paddles if you want to shift through the automatic. They are plastic, but they do look good. They look better than in some higher priced vehicles we've been in. And then instrumentation, it makes sense. You have analog tach, analog speedometer. I hit that drive mode button and you can see you have eco if you want to hug a tree. If you're feeling a little racy, you could go in sport. Or if you can pass an IQ test, you could be in smart mode. So nice, and comfort. Don't forget comfort. You know, you're sitting in your lazy boy, you want comfort mode. But I really do like the overall seating position in here, even with the sunroof. Feels great. I like the overall, just how you're feeling. Now, could I use a little bit more bolstering? Of course, but nobody's gonna track their Sonata Limited. But it is fun to take down a twisty road. Let's see how fun it is in the back seat. All right guys, back seat time of the Sonata. Should you get this over 2020, you know what, you are getting a lot of car, especially if you could knock down that price, which I know you can. To the windows, if you look, there's a tab right here. I'm gonna slide on over. You do have the nice sunshades, just like in a lot of higher end vehicles. That's a nice touch. Why don't you come on in? You have plastic up here, which I am gonna zonk the plastic, but you do have a leather pouch. I wish they would just wrap this thing in leather. And yes, hold the complaints about your kids kicking the leather seats. Rear AC is nice. You have one USB. You're gonna have to fight, maybe thumb wrestle whoever's back here. Just watch out. They may hurt your thumb and then maybe you can't even go on your phone anyway. So one USB. There's that extension of the panoramic sunroof. I don't have the shade all the way open. I'm surprised though. Lots of space back here. I like the way the seat is angled. Lots of leg room. I didn't move the seat forward. Let's see what it's like to bring down this bad boy. Here's where they brought the softness. Take this material, put it underneath that armrest, but you have nice 2 cup holders, flips back up. If you're ready, let's go ahead and check out the trunk on this thing. All right guys, time to check out what junk can you put in the trunk of a Sonata. What I love about the style is look how Hyundai integrates the button. So you actually hit the button right here. You're gonna have to use your own arm, God forbid, but check it out, lots of space. And that's why I think it's smart that Hyundai is still making sedans, because you could put a ton of stuff in the back of the Sonata. Obviously you have the 60-40 split, great value, great warranty, great amount of space to put things. I know you're ready for this part. Let's go ahead and take this 2019 Sonata Turbo for a spin. All right guys, we're rolling out of Fitzgerald's Hyundai, Clearwater, Florida. We're in the 2020, excuse me, not 2020. We're discussing should you get a 2020 or this 2019 Hyundai Sonata Sport. One thing Tom and I were just discussing is you get a lot of bang for the buck, no doubt about it, especially when it comes to things like ventilated seats. Very wonderful, especially on a hot day here in Florida like today. But overall, I love the layout of where everything is. Very easy to understand, very easy to get to. I don't know if you heard that sound. Do you want me to do that again? Sound. That is your lane keep assist. So you're getting the whole suite of safety features: lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control. So that's really where you're going to see a lot of value there. Like I talked about the car, when it wasn't moving, the steering wheel is great, and as you're driving it feels even better. easy to see out the front windshield, the instrumentation, back window's great. And one thing I keep trying to point out to everybody is, yes, Hyundai and other manufacturers make SUVs that you could get at this price point, but when you drive an SUV, you're raising the center of gravity. The SUV is not gonna handle like this sedan's gonna handle. And as you saw with the trunk, you still have a lot of usable space, which is great because you can have a car that handles better and you're able to put stuff in it. Right now I'm in sport mode. You know me, I always like to keep it in sport mode. It actually holds on to that gear. So that 8-speed automatic holds on to a lower gear to keep you higher up in that RPM range. Right now I'm turning about 2100 RPM and I was doing about 50 miles an hour, just to put in perspective for you. Handling, on throttle. The shifts could be a little bit quicker, but it is a traditional 8-speed automatic. I personally think that since this is a sport, it'd be nice to have a little bit extra sound. And I would expect this car to have a little bit faster 0 to 60. Rolling on that throttle, it felt a little sluggish, I'll be honest. But overall, it's a very comfortable driving car, very smooth driving car, and you get it for the right price. I say jump on one of these before the 2020, to be honest with you. Because the 2020, it's gonna be hard to get that bang up deal that you want compared to this vehicle. Rolling out here on throttle. It's a smooth driving car. It's just the shifts kind of hang up a little bit. They're a little herky-jerky, so I am gonna zonk it in that aspect. Let me go ahead, I'll put it in manual shift mode and we'll see how she goes. So third gear, second gear, on throttle. The shifts are a lot smoother when you're manually doing it yourself with the paddles, and there feels to be a tad quicker acceleration. Are you gonna go and win any drag races against a Mustang or a Camaro anytime soon in this? No, but that's not the purpose of this car. This car is able to get your family in it. It's going up against the Camry, it's going up against the Honda Accord, and with the 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, 100,000 mile on the powertrain, I really think it's a smart buy overall, unless you have to have that latest and greatest with the 2020 Sonata coming out. But we're gonna go ahead, hopefully this gave you a good amount of input on how the car drives. We're gonna go ahead and get back to Fitzgerald's Hyundai so that we can wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, been one heck of a day here at Fitzgerald's Hyundai. Gotta definitely thank Igor and the rest of the staff here, so accommodating. So really, it's up to you. Do you want to go get a 2019 Sonata and save yourself that money? Because you know when that 2020 comes out, you are going to be fighting the crowds. That may be the better way to go. But the only way for you to determine is to get down here and take one for a spin. But if these are the types of things you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us here at Rady's Rides, keep making this great content, get yourself some merch. Click that link in the description, takes you right to Spreadshirt. Every bit helps. Speaking of every bit, Tom Moschner, Big Guns McGee, working every bit of his body out. It's now getting ridiculous to where he is having a hard time fitting in these seats just because of how big his muscles are. So we're hoping that he won't get too big to where he can't fit in the car, but Tom is definitely on the way of winning some more medals at his powerlifting competition. Check him out on @MoschPhotos on Instagram. See the softer side of Tom, just like some people. Somebody special at home I know gets to see the softer side. But anyways, Tom, thank you for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.